Okay, and here we are in Studio One, and we're gonna check, well, how I made the song. So I kept it actually really simple, as we can see here. There's not a lot of tracks going on, and we will start with the stuff I did first. And like I said, all this was done in around 8 hours, including I had to learn how to play this. But as we can see, this is not a terribly complicated song. And here, Studio One, let's open the chord track, and I'll alt drag this on here, and there we can see it. That's what I played throughout the song. So I began with this track here, and we can solo that. And then we can see I just looped it. So yeah. And what I used Amplitude. And on Amplitude, I actually used my Choyo Jackman capture clean. So I could have used my amp instead, but this is just handy. And it's handy because I've added a little bit of, there we go. I've added a little bit of chorus, and then I have this plate reverb and compression on there. And then for the tremolo, I used the actual pedal I think I showed in the first part of these videos. And yeah, after amplitude stuff, just a little bit more compression. And that's it. I panned it a little bit right, because the next thing I added another guitar. And guess what? We have the same stuff. So it's the same sound, except same effects, everything. Except that I put a little bit of EQ to make it like a bit more snappy. So yeah, there we go. We can see what's the frequency? 2.8 basically. 3 dB of boost. Yeah, to make it. And then I had this. So, good sounding guitars in my mind. And what's next? Well, I added drums. And like some of you may know, I use Addictive drums. Here we go. And I just picked up, I have this Electronic Real Machines ad pack. And yeah, I picked that up. It just sounded so good because it's already mixed here. Oh, actually, for the bass drum, I've exchanged that for a Tama Star Classic. So yeah, I've done a little bit of something. It's not the stock DMX, I think. And yeah, it just sounded so good that I left it, did a little bit of EQ, boosted low frequencies, cut off some stuff, and then added this little compressor. which was free. So again, and I kept this, as we can hear, we can turn it off. So I wanted the snare to like hit hard and, you know, have some, let's say, tails to it. So there we go, we can hear that. And this is not all the way, so this is the nice thing about this compressor. I like using it. So then you just bring that down and you have a nice setting. And ratio quite low. Compression, yeah, lots. I'd say. And there's the sidechain stuff and all that, but you know, of course, no need for that. And then I added this plate that is EQ'd. So there's a FX send channel here for the reverb, and I've EQ'd the reverb. So all that's reverbed is, you know, these frequencies are cut off from the reverbs. And this is the reverb I use. And again, this one also, this was free. And I really dig this. And we can hear it without. So I added just a little. As we can hear, I could add a ton, but you know, just a little. And yeah, after those we have so the bass of the track is almost done. What of course is missing, and hey, the other guitar is panned left, of course. Well, not of course, but it is. And then the bass. So what do I have for the bass? I have amplitude again. And I have two amps here because I wanted some chorus on the other one. And then I have some compression going on in the end. Then just a little bit more, really subtle, and EQ that actually cuts off bass and adds a little bit on that area. And after all that, we have and for the bass, I used my cheap build-it-yourself kit. Next, I had to learn, and this actually did take a while to get this down, just to make sure it sounds right. And yeah, I added the last guitar, and let's see what I have on amplitude. Yeah, so we have the same Joyo Jackman here, but there's some delay. So it's the Echo Man, and then also a shimmer reverb after the plate. And what I got then is this sound. I've added a little bit of EQ here. For some reason, I haven't cut off the lows. I could do that. But yeah, just making it brighter. That's what I've done. So, because I really wanted to hear it. So that's what's going on there. And yes, then we get to adding some nice layering. So what have I done? I've done some strings. Cellos. And yeah, you can't keep it too simple. Gotta have some nice things there. So that's Presonus stock synth presents. So, and this has lots of like cool stuff on here. And this time I used cello full, and then yeah, I think I might have. No, I don't. Let's see if I have any automation for. I don't have for them. So yeah, not for the cellos. And I kept it on the background, really subtle, with lots of reverb, as we can see. And it's the same reverb, so this instrument is going to the same effects channel with the rev plate. And yeah, that's it. That's that. And then we have this track here, which is and again, another instance of presence. Well, I gotta do this. So here we go with the trick. Reset window positions. So it gives you, it opened up there. So yeah, violins with Pizzicato. And that's how it sounds like. I added delay and EQ compression. And you can really hear the delay. I think we can turn it off and we can hear it without. And there's lots of reverb, and it's the same one. It doesn't have its own. Made it much more, clearer and on that range, and added a good amount of compression. And then we have all this. So what's left? What's left was to start adding some vocals. And for vocals, I used, like I showed in the first video, just your cheapest measurement microphone. So yeah, because I was lazy. I have other microphones, but that was what was available. And I just wanted to get this done. So it was like, yep, I'll do with this one. And as we can, let's take this off. Let's put that on. So on canstrap legs, Spider-Man comes softly through the shadow of the evening sun. And that's what it sounds like, just stealing past the windows of the... without all the effects. And because my recording environment, well, let's say it's not that great, so I have background noise and whatnot. So first thing I added was actually, and this is I have to say, the Isotope ARC stuff is really good, and I used voice denoise. Then I added some EQ. That's it. Cut off the lows, put some over there, and on the highs. Compression, not too much. And then we have it. This has its own delay, I think. So yeah, pretty basic. Not much going on there. Then when we add it to all the other stuff, we have orchestra flex. Spider-Man comes softly through the shadow of David's son, stealing past the windows of the blissfully dead, looking for the victim, shivering in bed, searching out fear in the gathering gloom, and suddenly a movement in the corner of the room, and there's nothing I can do when I realize with fright that Spider-Man is having me for dinner tonight. Just try to have some expression on my vocals and make it sound good that way, because and the other thing is I'm doing this in an apartment building, so I can't really start screaming and yelling, which sucks because I could be doing a lot more stuff. But yeah, I'd need space for that. And yeah, so for these, so what I did then to add a little bit more, so that's how you usually do stuff, is get it sound bigger and gradually add stuff. So we have a multi-instrument here. I have the Studio One's stock synth, which is really good. You can do lots of stuff with that, it's more than enough. And I think I just did that part and played the solo, let's say solo guitar, and duplicated with a synth. Quietly he laughs and shaking his head. And there we get to the part which was really fun to do, and I had a vision for this and it worked out perfectly. So we have the spider's voice. Well, let's say the Spider-Man's voice.
Be still, be calm. Be quiet now, my precious boy. Don't struggle like that, or I will only love you more. For it's much too...
So yeah, how did I achieve that? Well, let's hear it without the insert.
Be still, be calm. Be quiet now, my precious boy.
Sorry, I left the delay on. There's lots of delay on there to make it look like, make it sound like. But yeah, first Pro EQ. It's the same as with the other vocal. Then compression. It's the same with the other vocal. But here's the secret trick. And this is a free plugin. You can get it yourself. Craylon 2 from Auburn Sounds. So, pitch shift. I just added that. And then I have.
Don't struggle like that, or I will only love you more. For it's much too late to get away or turn on the light. The Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight.
And I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 million shooting for a holes. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering.
Alright, and then I added some background vocals on here, and they're just panned left to right, just 2 tracks. You could do more. It's the same EQ, same compression as with the other vocals. The multi-instrument does things. Then the lead guitar starts doing other things, as we can hear. And I just added a muff to that. So it's the same stuff otherwise, but the muff is what's different for that sound. And then I have 2 tracks of Serum, panned a little left, a little right. Yeah, sorry. So. So just to add again, like a little bit more stuff in there. Make it sound bigger. Then we have a few instances presence again, and it's chord sounds. So I have a few chords here. Because, you know, who doesn't like a nice little chord? And then I added some cymbal hits, loops, and these 2 tracks are automation for the core and for the Serum bus. That really doesn't seem to have much going on, but for some reason it still has an automation track. We can see there's some other automation happening also. I had to bring my vocal up on the end there. I turned the guitar up when it down because of the sound level. No, I've low cut frequency. Yeah, I think I did like a little bit of a sweep in there. Send level is what I've been automating on that track. Yeah, there we go. Volume change. Yeah, that kind of stuff you can mess around with that and, you know, bring stuff front, bring it back, you know, do all kinds of. So automation is actually quite fun and something to learn that can make a huge impact on your recordings, and you can really do like fun stuff and tricks, and especially with delays, reverbs, and that kind of stuff. You know, filtering, automation is fun and sounds good. You can make it sound really nice. But let's take it from here, and then let's just hear how it all sounds together.
The Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight.
And I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 million shooting for holes. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering cold. I'm the Spider-Man, so it's
All right, and that's just an improvised guitar solo stuff there after the nice little line. Then let's go to my master. So first of all, I actually do have a, there we go. So I have this room correction. I've done measurement for my room, and I use this occasionally, you know, just to hear it differently and how it sounds in a more flatter environment. I don't have it on right now, of course. Then this is one of my all-time favorites, Analog Obsession. You can check this guy. Does great like plugins. Sorry about the really small window, but it's basically an SSL compressor. Just a little bit. I put just a little bit. You can...
Don't struggle like that, or I will only love you more.
It just, the meter barely moves. And as you can see, the mix also, it's not like, it's not all the way up, so it doesn't even have the full effect. Then I have some EQ for my master, and that's what I've done, and I'll explain why in a moment. And right now we have the maximizer on, so I don't clip, but that's actually, I don't have that on, of course, when I export this to mastering, which will be the next part. But yeah, Pro EQ. And why I've done this, well, let's see, these are the inserts, and these are the post stuff. So on the post, and this is one of the plugins I really like to use in my mixing.
For it's much too late to get away or turn on the light. The Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight.
And I feel like I'm being eaten.
So it shows how my songs tonal balance, or you know, frequencies compare to my, and I have my own reference here, which is a funny reference, I think in this case, Judas Priest, Never the Heroes. But yeah, as we can see, the curve is like, yeah, not exactly the same. I have a bit more stuff on here, and I had a little less stuff here. But you can, if you have something, you know, to give you an idea of, so if you're totally like off on some part of the spectrum, yeah, you probably want to make a few changes. And then if we compare what happens with this, let's spin it, and then we can open the Pro EQ. So what I've actually done here is
Buy 1,000 million shooting for it holes. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering cold. I'm the Spider-Man who's
and now we can see the line start to even itself out to our reference. And yeah, I've cut it off a little bit over there, 2.5, right? 2.7, yeah. And that's because, yeah, it did sound a little bit too bright when certain stuff started to get in there. So I just did that. Hey, and it seemed to work, so why not? Then I have this one. So for if you want to, you know, check here.
and I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 million shooting for it holes. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering cold. I'm the Spider-Man who's
So I can check, like, you can check all kinds of information here, which, you know, might be useful, might not be, I don't know, it depends. But yeah, I just slapped it on there and checked if, what did I even check? I don't know, maybe I just slapped it in there just for fun. I was like, oh, I gotta use this because I've paid for it. So, but yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. If it sounds good, it sounds good. That's actually all that matters. Then sometimes I use this. So this I can get a little bit of, well, it emulates the Abbey Road Studio speakers. So
The light, the Spider-Man is having you for dinner.
oh yeah, it's paused, so I need to bring that level down. Sorry about that.
Tonight.
And I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 million shivering fucking holes. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering cold.
I think my laptop is having performance issues. So, but yeah, it just shows me, or I can hear what it sounds like, supposedly on the Abbey Road Studios, 3 different speakers. And I've got actually I do have a headphone EQ for my Sennheisers. No, sorry, Bayer Dynamic, that's what I use. So that's what I sometimes use, not always, but sometimes it's fun to check and be, thinking that you're sitting in the Abbey Road Studio, turning your head and listen to some real expensive speakers or something. But yeah, and then this is a free one. You can get it, and a really good one for checking. And I use this to check mono. So let's hear that. And it doesn't sound bad. Nothing important is missing from and we can check with vocals too.
Like that, or I will only love you more. For it's much too late to get away or turn on the light. The Spider-Man is having you
And you can also dim with it. You can set the level.
for dinner tonight.
And I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 million shivering furry holes.
Which is nice because you can like instantly click that and see if it still sounds good when it's lower, which is because sometimes louder just sounds better. So you have some sort of understanding like, hey, if I turn it down, does it still sound good? And yeah, this one's also a free one. And it's usually always when I, do mix, it's on my master bus in the post. And of course, lastly, I have the Restream on, so my screen recording software picks up the signal. But that's basically it. So as we can see, I kept it really simple. In my opinion, this is pretty simple. And the basics are there. A few vocal tracks. I just wanted that for the special effect. And then a little bit of, color in there. Just adding something fun and making it sound bigger, especially towards the end. And that's how it came about. And next, I will check what I did for the mastering. And I'm not claiming to be an expert of any sort here. I just do what I do with my knowledge, and then I just try and listen if it sounds good, and go with that and make choices and come up with something that it's pleasing to my ears. So next I'll show you what I did to master, and this is the mix. And for this we actually had I think one of the delays, so it might be actually this one, so the weird. So this might be going into this delay, age delay, which then has a send of its own, and it has this reverb, which was also free. I think a free Black Friday plugin. And as you can see, I use a lot of free and also stock plugins, and I do have some that actually cost money. I think most expensive one of those is probably Amplitude 5, of course, and then just a few of the ways ones that I could do without, like the Abbey Road Studio thing. And but yeah, this one's I think also been free at some point from Waze. Oh, actually, I gotta say the most expensive plugin I've used is probably the most money I've put on a plugin is this one, Addictive Drums, because like I said, I for a few years on the Black Fridays I updated it and got some ad backs to myself. I did it this time. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just let me know, comment, and I'll try and answer and, explain it the best I can, if I can. But yeah, next, mastering. I'm off. Bye.